Hello everybody, welcome back. Today we're starting 8.2 currency conversions. We're going to convert from Canadian currency to foreign currencies, and you see the example there. We got the United States, which is they use dollar sign as well. It's called US dollars. In Japan they use what's called a yen, and there's a symbol there. You can see it looks like a Y with an equals in it. Great Britain uses pounds, and most European countries will use euros. So there's more than this, obviously, but I just have a chart if you do have a question, right? You will be given those currencies. So it's going to be conversions, and the conversions are going to be similar to what we learned in Chapter 1. So we perform our currencies the same way. You do your starting amount, the value of the currency for the starting amount, and the value of the currency for what you're trying to go to. Okay? Remember, the denominator is what you're starting with, and your numerator is where you want to be. Okay? So for currencies, we will keep two places after the decimal, the hundredths place for our final answer unless otherwise instructed. Alright, so look at the example here. If you're giving 25 euros, that's equal to 21.84 pounds. So that is your conversion factor. So in this one here, we're not going from Canadian currency. We're going from pounds, British pounds, into euros. Right, so determine the cost of a hotel cost of a hotel in euros if it costs 200 British pounds. So you say X number of euros is equal to 200 pounds. Sometimes the symbol will be at the front or the back of the number. It'll just depend on the like the currency or the country, right, or the location, I guess I should say. All right. So we take 200, multiply it by 25, and divide it by 21.84 because we have to get rid of the sign for the pounds, right? So those will divide out. All right. So the pounds divides with this pounds, and it's gone, and it gives us $228.94 for the euros. Convert a US $250 to Canadian currency if one US dollar is worth $1.2577. So I know there's four places after the decimal, but currency exchanges, sometimes it's even more than that. It'll just depend on the information or where you got the conversion factor. So just use what you're given. So we're looking for Canadian dollars. So we put the the X number of Canadian dollars is equal to 250 US dollars. The US dollars divide out. So the US dollars divide out, and you're left with Canadian dollars. Remember, the numerator and denominator will divide and equal 1. That's how we eliminate those units. So that equals $314.43. So what that means is if you were from the United States and you came to Canada with $250 US, you can convert that or get that as $314.43. That's what is equivalent to. Okay, this changes daily as well, so those are things that you have to consider. All right, let's look at example 1, and this is as of April 1st, 2021. I pulled these values from the internet. All right, for current, and these were literally changing every so often, every minute or so. Okay, we'll talk about more of like how to get the conversions and where you get those, and from the bank in different places. A little later on. Okay, so on the first one, it says use the currency table shown to the right to complete the following conversions. 1 Bitcoin to Canadian dollars. So the conversion factor, we say X number of Canadian dollars is equal to 1, and then I'll just use the symbol for Bitcoin here. 1 Bitcoin. Okay, and then we put our brackets, numerator, denominator. At the bottom, we're going to use the Bitcoin conversion. So 1 Canadian dollar is worth 0.00013 Bitcoin, right? All right. So 1 Canadian dollar is where we're going, and that's equal to 0.0000013 Bitcoin. The denominator. The Bitcoins divide. right? So you take 1 and divide it by 0.00013, and 1 Canadian dollar is equal to so 1 Bitcoin is equal to 776,923.0. It's 76, so decimal 8 dollars. The next we have 300 Canadian dollars, and we're going to change those to euros. So we are looking for X number of euros. So I'll just use the symbol for euros instead of putting euros. You can write euros, you can do whatever you want. Right? So I'm just going to put in euros like that. Again, you can write in however way you wish. And that's equal to 300 Canadian dollars multiplied by the conversion factor. But the Canadian dollar goes on the bottom, so all of these are worth 1 Canadian dollar. Okay, so it just depends on how you're given the conversion. And then we're going to euros. So 300 Canadian dollars is equivalent to 1 Canadian dollar is equivalent to 0.67689 euros. And euro symbol goes after. Okay, and I wouldn't be too worried about the symbol. All right. And that's going to be equal to, so the Canadian dollars again divide. Remember, that's the key. Because I remember when we do the first chapter, everyone would say, okay, where do we put the bottom? So I always remember, you put what you're looking for equal to what you have, and whatever you're trying to get rid of, that's what you have. You put that in the denominator and the numerator. So you see the dollar signs cancel out. It makes sense. This is where one spot I always use the units. So we take 300. Multiplied by 0.67689, and that is equal to $203.067, so 07 cents. Okay, and that's in Canadian, or sorry, euros. I apologize, and I'll just put the euro symbol at the end. Okay. Again, I'm not sure if that goes at the front or the end, but there it is. The next we have 1,000 Canadian dollars to Mexican pesos. So we write X Mexican pesos, or X Mexican pesos is equal to 1,000 Canadian dollars. And we know that right now, 1 Canadian dollar is equal to, well, not right now, as of April 1st is when I got these numbers. It's equal to 16.127 Mexican pesos. So the Canadian dollars divide, right? So you just multiply 1,000 by that. Please don't go to your calculators. So that would be 16,172 Mexican pesos. So you have 16,000 Mexican pesos as of April 1st, and again, that's obviously went up or down, it's changed, is equal to 16,172 Mexican pesos. Okay? Next, we have 15,000 Indian rupees to the equivalent number of British pounds. All right? So we're looking for the X number of British pounds. All right, so since we only have a chart with respect to Canadian dollars, this is going to need 2 conversion factors. All right, so if you're going, because our chart is only based on Canadian dollars, right? So 1 Canadian dollar is worth this, right? So what we're going to need to do is we're going to have to convert twice, or I just do these 2 brackets. That's how I would approach this. So we're looking for X number of British pounds. Let's steal that starting point there. X number of British pounds, so I'm going to grab the symbol there. British pounds. So X number of British pounds is equal to 15,000 Indian rupees, that symbol. Alright, so we're going to insert, and this time I'm going to put 2 sets of brackets, and in each bracket I'm going to have 2 conversion factors, because you could go to the internet and get the conversion factor for sure, but just do it based on the information that you have provided, you provided to you. Alright, so we have to go to Canadian dollars first. Alright, to convert, because that's all the information we have. So we have 299 Indian rupee symbol there. Alright, Indian rupees, and then that's going to go 1 Canadian dollar, and then 1 Canadian dollar in the denominator, and then we convert that to British pounds. So 1 Canadian dollar is equal to 0.57558 British pounds. So the Indian rupee symbol divides the Canadian dollars, divides so you take the 15,000 divided by 58.299 multiplied by 0.57558, and you get 148. Oh, I'm in the wrong spot, my apologies. And you get $148.09 British, 148.09 British pounds. Now I see the dollars in there. And there you are. So again, you can make that straight conversion. A lot of these conversions you can find on the internet very quickly. So if you went in here and you put in 15,000 and then you put Indian rupee and you wanted to convert that to British pounds, British pounds, and you'll see that's roughly the case. Again, that's just because it's changed a bit, right, over the last month. Alright, so I'm doing this video on May 2nd, and that, so you can see the conversion there. Okay? Alright, that's it for the first example, the first video. So in the next video, what we're going to do is we're going to calculate the better buy when shopping online in different currencies, essentially. Alright, thanks everybody, and we'll talk again soon.